going on home.
You better move when the beat drops.
All right, gentlemen, I want you to repeat after me, just how I do it. Ready? Your turn. Very good. Go ahead now. Good golly.
All right. And we're live. Welcome to the Abyss. Whoops, I just hit my headphones. Welcome to the Abyss. This is your host, the Eternal Abyss. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all are doing great. I just said y'all. Deal with it. I've been inspired to do another episode today. I should probably post on social media that I'm doing this, actually. Ha ha ha. So let me go ahead and do that very quickly here. That was the one thing I was forgetting. I always try to post online whenever I do this. Sometimes, in my haste, I can forget. Because it happens. So I'm going to do a quick tweet here. Live streaming now. Join in. Do it. At Bitwave and DLive. Though I'm not really a big fan of DLive, I might as well advertise myself there because, you know, I'm trying to whore this program out a little bit. So it makes sense. In the grand scheme of things, it absolutely makes sense. So I hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. A lot is going on today, actually. I made a list. I didn't check it twice, but I did make a list because there's a lot going on in the world right now. And between the UK trip of President Trump and craziness that's happening just now that started trending in Twitter in Congress, you know, there's a whole slew of fun to discuss. And I'm almost done here. The Eternal Abyss, that's me. And let me just make sure I have the correct link for DLive because I want to make sure that if anybody joins in on that. Why am I logged out again? What the hell? I was just logged into DLive. Gosh, this is such a garbage platform. Don't ban me, DLive. Thank you. There we go. All right. Okay, here we go. And cancel. Don't discard. tweet. Why is everything... What is going on with this browser? It's supposed to keep me logged into stuff and things. But it seems like it's not. Post. I swear, as technology gets more advanced, the stupider the stuff gets. I mean, good Lord. Whoops. All right, last thing, and then I can just get on rolling here with what I want to talk about. There we go. No, why did the... the metadata must have not have updated on that stupid thing, but... What the hell is that? Am I the only one hearing this? This is playing in my head right now. I don't know why. What is going on? Oh, that's what happened. Hey. Okay, I forgot. On DLive, you have the alerts when someone does something. I forgot that when I get an ice cream donation, thank you so much, Omega Man. That was very awesome of you. When I get the ice cream donation, it plays the Ice Cream Man music. Yay! Yeah, the ice cream truck. That's right. I completely forgot I had set that. So, thanks for massively confusing me, Omega Man. But it's not your fault. It was my own fault because I just didn't think of what I had already set. But we have a lot that I want to kind of go through. I don't want to stay here for like 2-3 hours discussing all these things. So I'm going to go point for point pretty quick about that. So, about the UK visit. Quack. A diamond. Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Wow. That's awesome. I don't think that's the biggest donation I've ever gotten, man. I really appreciate that. So one thing that happened today, at least there's video of this that happened today. Let me put it up here on the OBS for you. Yes. Here we go. Where'd it go? Here. This is trending right now, the DREAM Act. So Nancy Pelosi and her Democrats, they're putting forth a policy to essentially fast-track, amnesty, legalize, quote-unquote, dreamers, which, for the uninitiated, I think most people are aware, but for the uninitiated, this was a ridiculous overreach of executive power that the O-hole, Barack Obama, put together. Because he wanted to fast-track their legalization so he could get them on their side for votes, essentially. Because that's really what it boils down to. It's trying to use people playing victim, putting them in a state of a constant victimhood as if they are being victimized by some boogeyman, to coerce them into joining your side because the other side is evil. And that's what you get. You get ridiculous policies. The Democrats pulled this amnesty bullcrap with Reagan, and unfortunately for Reagan, Reagan fell for it. They had promised him they weren't going to do that if they if he signed the law that they wanted him to sign, and he did. And lo and behold, we're in the same situation, similar situation now. But as you can see, Steve Scalise puts it very curtly here. exactly what this whole thing is about. I'm going to read out loud here the tweet. Democrats' new DREAM Act, quote unquote, is only a dream for criminals, blocks access to state and federal gang databases, prevent felons and gang members from being referred to ICE for deportation, grants amnesty to violent criminals, provides $0 for border security. So this is, again, something that the Democrats are trying to do because they're losing their base. And they're losing their base very quickly. Not so much because their base is shifting. The Democrat Party is moving super far to the left, leaving everybody behind. Jim Webb in the last election cycle and the campaigning in 2016 was a perfect example of this. This guy was a Democrat, and he was the only person on the stage when there was Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and that other guy that nobody ever remembers. I don't, because he was so irrelevant. But Jim Webb was the only Democrat that actually sounded reasonable. He was like a kind of a moderate Democrat. He had liberal policies, but he seemed like a very reasonable person, and he seemed like a person that, in my whole entire life, I can never, because of my belief system, it's nigh impossible for me to vote Democrat. There's virtually no chance. But this was a guy that if I actually considered voting for Democrats, that would have been a guy that I would have actually had to seriously consider because he actually put forth some reasonable policy debates. He was actually seemingly a reasonable person that, wanted to work with both sides of the aisle. He seemed like an actual Democrat, what the Democrats have always claimed they are, but they never have been. So I found that very fascinating about that individual, and he himself pretty much said that the Democrat Party left him behind, and many Democrats and not so far left liberals feel that way. So it's kind of sad that the Democratic Party finds themselves in the situation that they do, mostly because it's basically on themselves. They've asked for it. I think that's a lemon. If I'm not mistaken, that should be a lemon. Yep, thank you, Dashy. Dashy 150. So, Susie is here? Which Susie, 88 or 87? So moving on to the next point that I wanted to talk about. Thank you. Thank you for the lemon. Oh, so that's interesting. So that actually plays for every lemon that you donate. Yep. Okay, I think D-Life has gone through that phase. All right. Why am I such a... why do you think that, sir? Or ma'am, I don't know who you are. Hey, thank you, Dispatch. Oh, you're just gonna... Oh, damn you. You're gonna spam that, aren't you? Oh my god! I love you, Dispatch, and I just hate you so much right now. All right. If I'm not mistaken, I should be able to turn that off. I'm not getting the visuals though. Wait a minute. What did I do wrong here? I'm missing something, right? Yeah, something's not right here, actually. Tidy. hurts. And I just realized I hadn't had my my window up here showing the tweets. I can lower the volume on that. I may hear it in my head, sir, but I'll be okay. Oh my god, that makes me laugh. Whoa, what the heck? There we go. How many times did you spam that? All right, I won't turn it off. I'll just lower it a little bit so I can actually speak over it. I don't want it to be too loud. All right. So, going back to the next thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh my god. This thing is 110 lemons. Good lord, dude. Is that the max? Is 110 the max? Oh my god, both of you, 102 and 110. Oh, you guys are cruel. Oh, stop! All right, yeah, keep the lemons coming. I'll take it, you know. Fine, I'll take the donations. But anyways, here is the second thing that I was going to talk about. Let's see if it showed up here. Correct. Perfect. So, there's this whole altercation that happens here over a MAGA hat. You know? Let me undo the volume here. Raise it, I mean.
Fuck you and Donald Trump, nigga. What the fuck?
Crazy ass, look, not even supposed to be parked here. Illegally parked. Crazy, you ain't gonna do shit.
Hey, guess what?
Why you so mad?
Bitch, fuck you and that nigga.
What the fuck?
See, look at that.
In a woman's face, bro?
Spit on a girl.
In a woman's face? This guy's crazy.
Hold this guy.
What a
That's
POS.
crazy.
What a POS spitting on a girl.
This guy's crazy. Yeah, you just spit on a woman. This Trump hater guy just spit on a woman. This guy's crazy. This guy's insane. Look at his face. He's fucking crazy. What do you want, Sherm? What do you want, Sherm?
Come on, dog.
This guy's insane, bro. Oh, shit.
See, and this guy in the hoodie.
Skateboard.
This guy, hold up. This guy right here, this guy in the hoodie? This guy in the hoodie apparently tried to take the American flag from someone that was there, and look what happens to him. This is glorious. Look at this. Look at this. Boom!
Oh, shit.
He got slammed with that
shit.
skateboard. And this is the best part. I'm
Hey,
gonna
good
move it
shit,
forward
bro.
because now nothing really happens
that-
here. But look here. Look at that.
Park.
Police arrive.
Illegally parked right here. Yeah, arrest
Police
him.
arrive.
Yeah.
And he's arrested. There you go. The reason why this caught my eye. Hold on, I'm gonna lower this a little bit so I can talk. I'm gonna lower it in my head too. Okay, there you go. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is actually mostly for the tweet, because the tweet caught my eye, and it says here it's by this Vibe High, at Vibe High, Hotep Jesus. Do I blame the black guy for his dumbass action that got him arrested? No. I blame MSN for demonizing the MAGA hat. My people are victims of propaganda and political subversion. And I wanted to briefly comment on that because on one side, I do slightly agree that his people, as he puts it, my people, his people, are victims, but they're voluntary victims, and that's where I draw the line. I do blame him for his actions. Whoops. He is responsible for his actions. He's definitely responsible for his actions because he's responsible for the fact that he allows that sort of propaganda to influence his mind. Because someone that wants to reach the truth of things should listen to things and also consider the bias that these things have. If you listen to CNN, you're going to have to consider the bias that CNN has. If you listen to Fox News, you're going to have to consider the bias that Fox News has. If your point is reaching the truth, you're going to have to try and find a middle ground where you can filter out all that noise of bias and look at only the facts for what they are. So this tweet slightly bothered me. That's why I wanted to reply to it and briefly talk about it. But we got a lot of different things happening in the world today, and let me bring up the UK visit. This one I have several things that I want to talk about. So here, the Daily Mail. We're going to talk a little bit about the real big baby. The real big baby in London is Mayor Khan, Sadiq Khan, or the Hobbit, as I call him. This guy, oh my God, this guy is so ridiculous. It's not even funny. He's a joke. He's a joke. He has basically turned London into Londonistan, as many people put it. London has become a cesspool, and the violent crime that has happened in London has skyrocketed under Mr. Khan's leadership as mayor. I don't really agree a lot with Piers Morgan on a lot of things. However, this is one that I do agree with, that this shows a great deal of disrespect. It shows a great deal of immaturity that someone would choose a day of remembrance to attack a president. I know the anniversary is happening, I believe, on the 6th of June. It's not happening today. But still, the fact that he's using this moment of remembrance as an opportunity to basically spurg out and have an adult hissy fit just because he doesn't like Donald Trump. That just shows you how poor he is and how ill-prepared he is as a leader. And a leader really should be able to put their personal differences aside and say, especially on special anniversaries of this kind, where the English and the Americans sacrifice themselves for the betterment of Europe. You know? So it's very sad and very telling about who he considers Londoners and who he considers people that are English, and the English people. If he really cared about all the English people that died back then, he wouldn't do that. He really wouldn't. I think this is telling. I'm not in the man's heart, so I'm not going to really make any sort of giant presumptions. But one has to wonder, because I can only talk about my perspective. I think about Americans that died during World War II, and I consider those Americans much like myself, fellow Americans that died to serve a greater good. And because of that, any memorial that I see for fallen soldiers, you know, it does touch me as an American to see those memorials to fallen Americans who fought not only for America, but for other people that are so ungrateful, like Sadiq Khan. And that's where my beef lies when it comes to that sort of thing. So I'm going to give kudos to Piers Morgan on this one. He deserves some kudos for that. He usually doesn't, but in this case he does. And There's a couple tweets about him, too. Whoops. Let me make sure I have the right window up here. There's a couple tweets about him. Oops. Nope, that wasn't the link I wanted. How did that happen? How did that happen? There we go. There we go. The Hobbit. The man who's having an adult hissy fit, who's being an immature little child, is the one that's trying to compare Donald Trump to an 11-year-old child. Look at this. Look at this. He looks like a child, a petulant child. And as the Imam of Peace says, he is a hypocrite. You know, this tweet really pretty much says it all right here if you read it. Sadiq Khan is a hypocrite of the highest order. As mayor of London, he visited Pakistan, a country that has absolutely zero regard for women's rights. Today, he is rejecting the visit from Donald Trump because he assumes that President Trump is against women. This is ridiculous. This is just political playing and posturing because he wants to remain relevant. And that's a great freeze frame right there. Look at that. Beautiful freeze frame. This right here, I think I'm going to take a screenshot of this or something because this is beautiful. Nice. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that he would even come forth to say any sort of criticism towards Trump, especially criticism that's untrue. And speaking of criticism, we also have this genius right here, Jeremy Corbyn, who is an absolute disgrace. He's an absolute disgrace. He had this amazing spurg out. Let's see. I thought I had a video. Oh, here it is. Here's the spurg out. Listen to him.
This week, think on, please, about a world that is one of peace and disarmament, is one of recognizing the values of all people, is a world that defeats racism, defeats misogyny, defeats the religious hatreds that are being fueled by the far right in politics, in Britain, in Europe and the United States. They have no answers to young people growing up worried about their future. No answers to communities that have lost their industries. No answers for the people that are desperate in all parts of the world to get somewhere to live. No answers to those people that are desperate to get the medical help and support that they need. No answers to those going through a mental health crisis of any sort all over the world. Do you know what? Together we can make a big difference. Together we can change this world. Together we can bring about that peace and justice. And by our demonstration here today, we've shown just how determined we, all of us, are.
Did you see his face? Let's see if I can get to a frame where it shows it. Look at that. Look at those eyes. His eyeballs were, but look at that. Look at that. Shoot, this stupid scrubber is so bad on the Twitter videos. Look at that. Look at that right there. The dude's insane. Look at this. He's a complete spurg. He's just... Oh my God, look at that. All right, let me lower this again here. Look at that. Look at that. I love how he purports, within 5 seconds, he contradicts himself. He purports to want peace. He purports to want to help everybody. He purports to have solutions that the right and the religious right, quote unquote, which he vilified, don't have. What is he talking about exactly? I have not heard one single solution coming from Corbyn that has been a viable solution for any of the societal ills. All you hear is the same kind of rhetoric from the left in the UK and in the left here in the United States. They vilify people that are religious. They vilify people that have any sense of right and wrong, that say that there is a right and wrong. They vilify any sort of conservative thought as racist, misogynistic, sexist, homophobic, Islamophobic, whatever, which is all nonsense because the conservatives have put forth many solutions. They just don't want to listen to them. And this guy looks like a complete spurg in this video. That's why I wanted to show this video, because just his voice like squeaking and crackling, and him going bananas at the end. I mean, I'm sorry. Is that really what you want in your leadership, the UK? My English friends. Really? Is this really what you're looking for? Because if I look at that, that's not someone that seems to me is stable enough to be in government. I don't think this guy is stable enough to be a dog catcher, much less government. So that's insane. But right now we have, always sticking with the UK here, we do have an official presidential visit happening with Donald Trump over there, and the media is talking about all these protests that are happening. Well, guess what? That's all bullcrap. There is some protests against Trump, but look at this. There's massive support for Trump. Listen.
Mr. President, if you are seeing this, just know that the great deplorables of the United Kingdom love you, we are with you, we stand with you, and we want you to succeed. Forget about the people in London, forget about the establishment, forget about the detractors in the fake news media. The real people out there in the United Kingdom, we love you, Mr. President!
And there you have it. And there are massive demonstrations of support for Trump in the UK. So what they're doing is just media propaganda. There are hundreds of examples of videos that I've seen online showing this sort of thing. Don't believe the media. And the left really should wise up at this point. Their little tactics aren't working anymore. And they won't work anymore. And another thing that was hilarious, actually, breaking news. This happened earlier. The Trump, remember that Trump, baby Trump balloon? Well, another stabbing happened in London. The Trump, I don't know why they keep calling it a blimp. It's not a blimp. It was a balloon. It was a small balloon. It was not a blimp. Many outlets keep calling it a blimp, and this is a mischaracterization of what this balloon was. So look at that. That's all popped and then dead. And it was a lady. There's this lady who just went up and stabbed it. I don't know what she had. I think I heard it was a pen. I'm not entirely sure. But the funny thing is, let me scroll down here. I saw this earlier. Hopefully I'll see it again. There's a lot of people are laughing at this. It's pretty freaking hilarious. Let's see. Where is that? I don't know if I'll find it very quick. Here it is. There it is. So, Sadiq, a man, you gotta get your stabbings under control there in the UK, man. You know that blimp. Not blimp, that Trump balloon, it got murdered pretty bad. But yours is still up, so don't worry, man. There's still hope, because Sadiq's beautiful bikini body here, the Hobbit in the bikini bottom, yellow bikini, itty bitty teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. That's still nice and floating up in England right now. So, kudos to the folks in the UK. One thing that I do want to mention, though, about that, I'm not a big fan of destruction of property. You know, I've seen the left do this a lot. They break signs, they steal flags, they do a lot of they do destruction of private property. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that even on the opposite side. I don't think conservative supporters should be destroying balloons or signs or banners or anything like that. I will admit, though, I did laugh my ass off when I saw that. It was pretty damn funny. I'm not going to lie. Pretty damn funny indeed. And I think I also have video of the lady who doing it, doing the actual stabbing. Oh, yep, here it is. Here's the video. Look at this right here.
I'm going in for it. I'm going to pop the bloody...
He's going in.
I'm going.
He's going in.
What the fuck you doing?
Did it.
There we go.
That's a disgrace. It's a national disgrace. The President of the United States is the best president ever. Shame on you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Done it, guys.
And there it is. She stabbed it. It was just like that. She actually gets arrested.
I'm bleeding now. I'm in a mind.
She actually gets arrested. There she is.
Did it. I'm bleeding.
She's actually bleeding too. She cut herself in the process.
Did it. Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah, it's pretty
Right,
amazing.
guys, I'm going. I got the balloon, baby. I did just pop it. I just ripped it, baby. It's going down, going down. Go get it. Yay! I did it. Look, that's blood, baby. Oh, I gotta go because
Yeah, she got arrested for this. And the police were rough with her, like very rough.
don't touch me. Yeah. No, I don't touch anybody. Yeah. Yeah. I got the balloon. Watch out.
I didn't see the whole video, so I don't know what led to her.
You better
Like,
go check out. I think Donald Trump's balloon is not very well. I think it's going down rapidly for a reason. It's going down, baby. I gotta get at it. That was my birthday present to myself. I'm bleeding quite badly, though.
wow, she is bleeding pretty
Don't
bad.
touch me! Don't touch me!
It's over the purpose of a
No,
search.
I'm not myself.
Oh,
Oh, look, everybody! Look!
weapons. I've had information you might have
Ow, Wait! Be careful, please. I'm disabled. Please be careful. I'm gonna cooperate.
You're going to be searched
I'm
for
gonna
knives, all right?
cooperate. I hurt myself. I fell
On
over.
what?
On my...
It's an
No, be
allegation that
careful.
you
Be careful. I'm not dangerous.
around.
Look at the police. The police are coming after me. Stop it. If you break my phone, what's your number? CE1277. I'm going to sue you.
Stop resisting. You're
Listen,
being
wait.
searched.
I need somebody. No,
resisting.
stop. I'm not resisting.
You are resisting.
I'm standing still.
Stop tensing
I'm
up.
standing still.
Stop
Well, I'm only tensing because I've just been assaulted by a policeman.
All right?
I'm relaxed.
Relax your
I'm
arm.
trying not to drop my phone.
Relax your arm. and
It's
let me put my
relaxed.
hand
Ow!
down. Stop.
Hey, America, help me. These people are assaulting me.
I just want to get a cup on.
Ow!
Relax your
Yeah,
arm.
it's
Put your
relaxed.
arms down.
It's relaxed. It's very relaxed. It is so relaxed. Ow! Ow! You bastard! Get off me! Look at my phone. You injured me. Stop it. I've got a sickness, you fool. I'm disabled. Stop it.
So the cops are essentially roughing up a disabled woman for popping a balloon. I mean, the problem is this: the destruction of private property is against the law, and I assume it's also against the law in the UK. And this is the problem. You know, this is a consequence of what could happen if people do what she did. Unfortunately, I admit that I'm tickled about the balloon being popped, but she's disabled. They're roughing her up now. She's gonna go through a whole slew of ridiculous, biased judicial system stuff of the UK because they obviously, with the whole Tommy Robinson thing. She's also a Tommy Robinson supporter, from what I understand. They're not gonna be unbiased towards her. They're not. I sincerely doubt they're gonna be unbiased towards her. So that's what we got going on here with this, and let's stop the video. So that's hilarious. As mentioned, 75 years ago was D-Day, and Donald Trump and Theresa May did a presser. Theresa May, oh boy, She's funny. She did a presser about it. I was gonna play the presser, but I don't want to go into too much time into that. That's gonna take up a little bit of time, and I'd rather just move on to other topics. I just want to take a moment to also recognize all those people that died and all the folks that have fallen during World War II to allow us to have these freedoms that we have. You know, that is the ultimate sacrifice. And, I don't think today's generation would be willing to make that sacrifice. I really don't. And I'm trying to be serious with all this lemongrass yelling in the background. So moving on. Well, another news report that came out today was about Manafort. Did you know Manafort got moved to Rikers Island? Yeah. So Dinesh D'Souza put this tweet out about Manafort because he's moved to Rikers Island. Not only that, he's going to be put in solitary confinement. I mean, what is he, Al Capone? What the hell? His crimes do not warrant this. This seems incredibly disproportionate to his crimes. So I'm really surprised at this. I was actually really surprised when I saw this because financial crimes, I don't think that warrants solitary confinement. I would wonder what the justification is to transfer to Rikers and what the justification is to actually put him in solitary. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. That's weird. I wonder if any more news will come out about that. Another anniversary that's happening today besides DDay is Tiananmen Square. Yeah. It's the 30th anniversary of Tiananmen Square. There was this whole vigil, as you can see here. Look at this. There's a video here of the entire. This whole video is an hour and 22 minutes. I'm not gonna show this entire